Thanks for joining me in listening to Born Gay to Born Again, where Lester Washington is telling you his testimony about how God is transforming him out of the gay lifestyle into the manhood that God created him to be. So in part 2, he's going to tell you about the children he raised and reveal to us what his mother did to bring in the spirit of homosexuality over him at birth.
Dwayne, on the other hand, now he went to the back room. Now, I don't know what happened back there with him, you know what I'm saying? But I know after that night, we kind of started to pull back
From
from
the church?
the church. Yeah. Yeah. It was like going downhill from there. After that, I'm like, you know what? I can't even do this. I'm about to go buy me some dresses and some stiletto heels. And I get with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And at that time is around the time that I decided I'm gonna just move away. I'm moving to Detroit and I'm gonna just start a total different life.
So you want to start fresh as a woman.
Yes.
So you were all in as a transgender woman in Detroit.
Yes.
Okay. When did you become a beautician?
I graduated from beauty school in 93. 93 or
Oh.
94.
Oh, okay. So you did. Okay. So you intentionally did that. You didn't just look up and do it.
Oh no. I went to beauty. I didn't even know I could do hair. I didn't even know I can really do hair. I did my sister's hair after my mom died with ponytails and all that kind of stuff. But I know that I was always fascinated by hair.
Were there other talents that you ever explored, or do you feel like you were just kind of pulled into that hair lifestyle?
I did. I made clothes. I've done a little bit of everything. I didn't make clothes professionally. I took the class in high school, and I used to make garments and clothes for my sister all the time.
Really?
Um, Cooking. Um, Even in high school, I had jobs as cleaning dope dealers' houses, drug dealers' houses, and taking care of their kids and their wife, cooking for.
What?
Yes, I would cook for them, their wife, their children. I would take their children shopping, for school.
You were
I
like, what do you call it?
A nanny, almost like a nanny. Yeah.
For dope dealers.
Yep. 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 Yep.
They
Sure
wanted to
was.
take care of their families too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
So tell me about this life as a beautician. You sent me some things in that email that blew my mind.
What? Okay. What did you? Oh, about the women bringing their husbands to
Yes.
me? Yeah. So like I've had clients to come to me. Like the first time it happened, I was living in Detroit. Um, and this lady came to me. She started getting her hair done, and I noticed that the first time that I did her hair, um, she was, I guess she was trying to make me feel comfortable by asking me about the gay clubs and telling me that she's been to the gay clubs before, this, that, and the other. Woo, woo, woo. And the type of person I am, I'm not gonna give you too much. I try not to, unless I'm very comfortable with you, because growing up as a PK, you're taught you never know who you're talking to.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and people know people. You know what I'm saying? So unless I'm comfortable with you, I'm not gonna really spill it. So I was very nonchalant, and plus I was very busy. I had a very huge clientele here, so I was always very busy. So I didn't really have time to really stand there and talk to you about the club like that. So she came a few times, and then she was talking about the club again, and then she told me that her and her husband went to the club together, and that kind of threw me back. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. But I kept on doing
What?
her hair. So the next time or so she came, she was like, "Do you know my husband?" And I'm like, "No." I was kind of actually kind of offended, kind of thrown back. And I'm like, no, not that I know of. Do he know me? And she was like, well, y'all are friends on Facebook. I was like, well, I don't know half the people that I'm friends with on Facebook. They ask to be my friend. I accept them because I'm in business. So I just accept them. You know what I'm saying? Um, so she was like, well, he knows you and he want to meet you. Yeah. So I was kind of like, um, I it was a little uncomfortable because I didn't know where this was going. I,
Right.
I had no clue that her purpose of coming to get her hair done by me was for me to hook up with them too. I had no
Wait.
clue.
So they wanted you to be a part of a threesome.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
So they made arrangements to come back and visit me later. And I told them, okay, fine. Yeah.
She set up the whole thing. Okay, I don't want to get too graphic,
Okay. Okay.
but
So yeah,
she's orchestrating
she's
the
orchestrating.
whole hookup.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm from Chicago, but I wasn't out in them streets like that. But I learned later, this probably in the last 10 years, 15 years,
Mhm.
that Chicago is big on threesomes. I mean, that's our Kellyville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get that is a thing. So you rolled out of your Stanford territory up there to the territory where they do that kind of stuff. I mean, like that's the territorial spirits that's in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. Detroit is very sexually driven. When I
Yeah,
first
it's just
moved here,
different.
yeah, when I first moved here, I'm like, there's a spirit over this city. It's like sex is tough. I mean, people take so much pride in the shape of their behinds, and I mean, it's just sickening. It's just like, would you please get over it? Yeah.
Like poop
So
comes out of that thing, people. Smells come out of that thing. Why y'all
you
so
know,
obsessed with that?
why are y'all so obsessed with that part of the body? You know what I
So
mean?
you're
It's
saying
just
that you
crazy.
noticed it was more of an obsession when you moved up there?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely an obsession. I've even like, and speaking of pastors, I was talking to a pastor, probably I'm gonna
Move
say
it.
6, 7 years ago, about 6, 7 years ago, right?
Uh,
And we're just having a general conversation, right? And this man says to me, out of the blue, he says, you know, I've always wondered what it would be like to have a transgender in my mouth. Church. I actually met him. I actually met him at the salon that I first started working in. Silver Spoons was the name of the salon, and I was the only stylist that really worked on Mondays
about how many men did you hook up with? Can you give a approximate
in my
number?
whole life.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna just say it like this. Um, I consider all of it a hookup. Even if nothing was done but masturbation. Like I even have guys that since iPhone will come out that would just want me to call them and sit the phone down, and all I had to do was just sit here, and they would just pleasure themselves. And if I didn't want to do it, they offer me money. They would cash app me, PayPal me money to
What?
sit. Yeah,
Did you have to sit
yeah.
there naked?
Sometimes naked, sometimes in lingerie, sometimes just whatever I had on. You know what I'm saying? Like as
So,
far as away as Africa,
huh?
as far away as Africa.
Okay, did they find you on the app?
They found me like through Facebook. They come across me on Facebook, and they will usually start off like, "You're a beautiful woman," da 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 da. And then when I tell them like I'm transgender, are you really? And the most common thing they say was, "Prove it." So that means show us your yeah
Parts.
yeah,
Okay.
show us your parts. And
Parts
then
is
it's
parts.
proven. And then once it's proven, it's like, okay, now do this. Okay, now do that for me. Turn
Oh,
around.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Very seldom do men did men like very seldom did they deny me. I was in Atlanta by myself for my birthday. I think I was turning like maybe 35 or something like that. And I had went to this bar and I was sitting there by myself. And this guy came in, he sat beside me. He began to talk to me. He began to buy me drinks and food and all this stuff. We sat there, we had a great time. And he was a nice looking guy. So I got ready to go back to the room and he wanted to go with me. And I told him, I said, well, maybe I should tell you that I am transgender. And then he was like, oh, no, I'm not like that. No, no. Like, and I was like, okay, that's fine. He said, I hope that you're not offended. And I was like, no. I said, it's actually good to hear a no every now and then.
Mm.
Just to let me know I'm in the real world and there are some straight men out there. And, so somewhere, if you turn over enough rocks, you'll find one. You know what I'm saying? So I was not offended at all. And I was actually kind of like glad, like he actually said, nah, I'm straight, yeah. Because
You know
usually
what? I
guys,
didn't know what really, I used to think when people just say, nah, I'm straight, I'm straight. I used to think that was just a term. Now I get it.
yeah, I'm straight. Yeah.
It really means
um,
I'm straight.
it really means I'm straight.
So,
Yeah.
so the whole time you were out
But
here,
no, it
okay, you
doesn't.
didn't give
No,
me a
it do-
number
who what happened?
about a number, a
Oh, okay,
approximate number.
so
You were telling me how many photos you deleted out of your phone,
yeah.
but you
So
didn't tell
that's
me.
what I'm not gonna say that I was physically with every one of them. I deleted after my repentance and going through the first class with you. The Holy Spirit led me and he was like, I want your house, I want this, I want your phone, I want everything about you. And I'm like, my phone? In my mind I'm thinking like my phone. So then the Holy Spirit led me to just start deleting pictures. So I'm going through my phone, just kind of like I hit the select. I have iPhone, so you just hit the select, and and it was 544 pictures, sexually perverse pictures of men.
Oh,
544.
okay.
544. Okay. Then just the other night, I'm looking at my phone. I think it was the same night that I had emailed you. I was looking through my phone and I saw this app. It's a vault, um, picture vault
Uh-huh.
on my phone, and I opened it up and it was like 300 and some pictures on there, and I
Mm.
just deleted the whole app. That's not including, and which the Holy Spirit has not even allowed me to go back to my online accounts, like, um, um,
Like old email addresses, or
no, like the sexual email, like FetLife and Jacked and Badu, um,
you mentioned Grinder.
Scout, Grinder,
Where'd you find the
Scout.
pastors? You said you were finding pastors on Grinder.
No, 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 no. Well, I have met some, but while I was saying that, a lot of these guys are really these men that's in the street. I'm not talking about the guys that's in the church, these homosexuals in the church that know that they're doing wrong. I'm talking about people that are in the street that do not have any affiliation with church. They were not raised in church. They were not taught the Christ way. These men are actually looking for salvation. They don't know that there's salvation that they're looking for, right? They consider it to be happiness. And we know that happiness is in Christ Jesus. Okay. So
Yeah.
they're looking for happiness. So a lot of these guys, they go to these websites like Grinder, Jacked, um, FetLife, Badu, and they're actually looking, you know, to hook up with a bisexual guy, not knowing that they're actually hooking up with the pastor down the street, the deacon from down the street, the choir director from the church across the street.
Well,
You
how
know what
did
I'm
you know
saying?
that those guys were, how did you know that these people from the church were in these apps? I mean, did you run into them?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Sometimes you can see, they'll put up a fake picture And
Uh-huh.
then, you go and start emailing, texting back and forth, and you ask for a picture. They send you a picture. You like looking like, wait a minute. Oh, I know you. Oh my God.
Okay, so you would know a lot of people in the church though because you were a musician.
Well,
You're choir
not here. I
director.
would. In North Carolina, I was. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Here, I would know a lot of people in the church because one, I attended church. I held office in church here, as a couple of different offices in church here. Um, I worked
As a
with a lot
woman.
of, yeah, as a woman.
As a
I w-
woman, dressed as a woman in church holding an office, like
yeah,
admin assistant or something like that. Like,
yeah, yeah. I was usher board president. I assisted first ladies. Um,
were there other transgender people in those churches? Or did you stand
um,
out?
they, I don't know so much about transgender um before me, but after I came, just like in North Carolina, I kind of had an influence on people because of, then they would start to come. There were even some that would call me mom, grandma, and I think they really admired me as a woman, and I don't know, and the way that people in the church accepted me, you know what I'm saying? But they have to realize that because of the way I was raised, I knew how to conduct myself in the church. I knew the ins and out of church. So it was a little bit different for them than it was for me. So they kind of admired, like, oh, she just came right in here and she flows and she know how to wear the hats and she know how to wear the this and she know how to put it together. And so
It was all about outward appearance.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay, when did life started? Did life ever start getting empty? I mean, how did Christ find you?
Actually, even during COVID, I'm just now realizing now, um, when COVID came, that was the first true 2-week vacation of my career, my 20-some year career.
Your career
Okay.
as a beautician
As
or
a
your
hairstylist.
okay, okay.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, hairstyle.
Yeah. So during COVID, it was a lot of time. People had a lot of time on their hands. So I was always getting inbox after inbox after inbox after inbox after inbox after inbox after inbox
For what?
inbox for sex, honey.
First, we probably need to fill people in on your son. You said someone just dropped him off at your shop?
Yeah, okay. So first it was actually his sister. Um his sister was brought into the salon, and the little girl was so cute. Um but you can just look at her and tell she was not well taken care of. So me being the woman, Lexi being who she is, I just
You were
love the little.
Lexi, okay.
Yeah, so I just adapted to the little girl. I shampooed her hair for her, blow dried her hair for her, and everything. And she was leaving that day. They were taking her back home, and she said, um, "Can I go home with you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if your mom would like that or not, but maybe one day I can meet your mom, and then you can go home with me." Well, the little girl went home. Her mom called me back in like 30 minutes time. Okay. And she was like, "Yeah, my daughter told me that she wants to go spend the night with you. I don't have a problem with it." And so I'm like on the phone, like, "Well, I have a few clients. I really like to meet you. I don't have a problem with her spending the night with me, but I would like to meet you first. So if you can wait till I finish my clients, I'll come by and, meet you XYZ and we'll take it from there." Well, she told me, she was like, "Well, I have to get out here on Finkel and make my money. I don't really have time to hang around." Finkel's a street where a lot of
Was she a prostitute?
she was an addict. So yeah, she prostituted to get her
Okay, so
stuff.
this addict
Yeah.
let her
So
little daughter go home with this transgender woman
yeah, yeah.
that she
So
just met.
she never met me. The mom never
It was
met
just
me.
on the phone. She
Yes.
just let her daughter go with you.
And she left the daughter at this house, um, and told me where to pick her up from. I went to pick her up, and when I got there, the little girl was there by herself with a young man, and she was only like 5 years old. Okay. So I took the little girl home with me, and I didn't see the mom again for maybe 2 weeks, and I had this little girl for like 2 weeks.
Oh my
Okay. And I'm
goodness.
trying to figure out, like, where's the mom? I went back to the house where I picked her up from. They kept saying she's not here. She on the east side. I didn't want to leave her at this house because I can tell it was a drug house. It was a lot of guys always there. I'm not gonna leave her here. So eventually, somebody gave me enough information as to how to find her on the east side of Detroit. And I went there with the little girl, and at this time, the mom was like, as you can tell, I don't have anywhere for my kids to live. She had 5 of them. I don't have anywhere for my kids to live. And this one is over here, that one is over there, this one is over here. And if you would, I would appreciate it if you allow them to stay with you just for a little while until I get myself together and find me a place.
So them
Okay.
as in,
Her and the little boy. The little
okay, so
boy,
that's when the boy came in.
I hadn't even seen him at the time. Right. So
Mm?
she wrote a handwritten letter. We went to the bank and had it notarized. Yeah, saying that they were to stay with me, and this gave me authorization to take them to school, pick them up from school, take them to the doctor if they needed to go, XYZ.
She gave you
Right?
power of attorney over her children.
Yeah, just like that. Lilith did that.
That wasn't her name, was it?
No, 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 no.
I
I'm
was
talking
about to
about the
say.
spirit. The spirit
Yes,
Lilith.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
good
um
job.
at that point, that's when I first saw the little boy, and he was just as raggedy as the little girl was, if not worse. And can we pause just for a second?
So the little boy was raggedy.
Yeah, the little boy was very raggedy. So I took them home um, with me, and they were with me now for about maybe 3 months. The little girl, her shots wasn't up to date, so she had been put out of school in the kindergarten. They wouldn't let her come back to school. So I
Oh,
got her shots updated to the little boy. I found both of them a pediatrician that they could start going to regularly. I put a little boy in preschool. Um, One day I go to pick up the little girl from school. It's close to the end of the year, maybe the last week of the end of the school year. And I go to pick up the little girl from school, and the teachers and the principal, everybody was so upset because it was like, she came and got her. She came and got her this morning as soon as you dropped her off. I
the
was like, oh,
mom?
yeah. So she came and
Oh,
got the little girl out of school, um, but
no.
she never came back for the little boy. So now I have him, but I noticed that when she gave me them, she gave me that letter, that written letter, and social security cards. But with him, she gave me social security card, insurance, and birth certificate.
Oh, she
With
gave you
her,
everything. So she was
uh-huh,
just feeding you a boy.
right, basically. Okay.
You know
Basically.
what I'm saying? She's giving a boy to
Just a,
a basically homosexual,
yeah, pretty much.
like just like you were handed off. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Pretty
But pretty
much.
much.
Yeah.
Did
So
tell
mhm.
I don't know. I can edit this out. You don't have to answer, but did you ever find any attraction to I'm just
The little boy?
yeah, like
No.
did did you did any demons try to influence you through dreams or anything like that?
No. Maybe demons through humans.
What did they do?
Um,
What did people
like I
do?
remember this one time, me and this guy was messing around, and he said to me, "Have you ever gotten to bed with your son?"
Oh, so okay, so the men you were with wanted the boy.
Right. Yeah. So
About how
I,
many? About how many?
oh, any guy that I was dealing with that paid too much attention to pictures of my son that was like in the house. Like if you looked at the pictures too many times, I counted that as a violation.
Okay. Okay, so you guarded him as your son,
I
like
absolutely
that you
my
were raising.
blood, my
Okay.
flesh and blood. And
Okay.
if you looked at his pictures too many times, or if you even asked me too many questions about him, like does he have a dog? Does he like playing games? Did he play basketball? Did he got a girlfriend? If you start asking questions like that, you probably gonna get cursed out.
Okay.
And then that would probably be the last time that you would talk to me or I would deal with you.
So
Yeah, I
even
didn't
in your perversion, you were protective of this little boy.
because I knew what I had went through as a kid.
Oh man, I feel your heart when you say that.
Because once I had him and didn't have the other girls, whenever some years on down the line, there were times where I could find them in different foster homes, and I wanted him to have Christmases and Easters and Thanksgiving with his siblings. So I would go pick up all of them.
Oh, so you
And
kept up with them.
yeah, and I would bring them to my house. I would buy all of them Christmas. I would buy all of them Easter outfits. I would buy them, whatever the occasion was, and allow them to stay the weekend with us. And pretty much the foster parents didn't care because they were in it for the money. Um, yeah, so they just let them go. Yeah. So yeah,
Because yeah, and I see you reliving your childhood, taking care of your brothers and your sisters.
it was just
And
it's
so
second
you
nature now.
so you felt like you had
This
your
is easy.
family again.
I know exactly how to do this. I've done this all before. you
Okay.
know. So yeah,
Okay.
but as he got older, um I had lots of episodes with principals, teachers, men at church concerning my son. As from 9, 10, 11, 12.
Men
Yeah.
coming after him.
Yeah.
Do you
And I
think they
kind of
came after him because you had custody of him and that basically that spirit was coming after him that was on you?
I think that a lot of times gay and bisexual men felt like um just like the question you just asked, she's probably sleeping with the little boy, so he's already been open to this lifestyle. So what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? I really felt like that they felt like I probably would have done something. I probably have done something to him. So it was like he was just a piece of furniture or old outfit. Just pass it around. You don't want any more, pass it to the next. But that was truly not the case. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
So you
I
guarded
lost
him as if he were you in your
as
younger state.
I guarded him as if he was me, as if I made him.
Okay.
Okay. And I did that until he was 18 years old. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So your son is now, raised. He's grown
He's
now.
yeah, he's 20. He's about to be 21 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he straight?
Um, and I'm gonna say it like this: he's as straight as the rest of them are. In this day and this hour, he's just as straight as them. He got a girlfriend, but I don't put a thing past him.
Did
If
you
if
did you keep his hair cut or did you let him grow long hair?
um no, I kept his hair cut. I didn't allow him to get earrings. None of that. No, no earrings in his ears. Um, I kept his hair cut and a nice taper fade at all times. Um, actually, I never even if I couldn't cut his hair, I wouldn't allow a man to cut his hair. I would find a female barber to cut his hair because I remember the things that took place when I was getting my hair cut as a little boy or as a young man. You know, and
What
I can
took place when you were getting your hair cut?
I can put my hand on the armrest, and he just put his genitals all on my hand the whole time he's cutting my hair.
No.
Would not allow men to cut his hair.
What?
I can think of maybe one guy that I allowed to cut his hair, and that happened maybe twice, maybe.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
They did that to you?
yeah, hmm
What?
yeah. More than once, more than twice, more than three times. All
Oh,
different barbers.
that's slick. That's slick
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah, yeah.
Get out of here.
The devil's very cunning. He's very sneaky,
That's
and he.
nasty.
Mhm.
Oh, but just to hear about how they came after you, like so basically what I'm hearing is you weren't always, you weren't looking for this lifestyle. This lifestyle came looking for you.
Pretty much. When I was at 13, when I was being molested by the older cousin, at about maybe I think it was 20. India Irie came out with this song, and I loved India Irie, and it's
Move the mic.
um um she came out with this song, and she was saying the main ones that can hurt you is the closest ones to you, something like that. I can't remember the lyrics of it right off the top of my head, but I think it was "Get It Together" was the name of the song, and I went to visit this cousin because I wanted to ask him, why did you do that? You know? And when I asked him, he flipped it on me and said, you wanted it.
What? No, he was older than you.
Yes, he flipped it on me and said, you wanted it. And my reply to him was, I was only 12 or 13 years old. How does a 12 or 13-year-old know what they want sexually?
Right. He was playing with your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was a mind game.
yeah, he flipped it on me. He tried to be, but anyway, it brought closure to that situation for me. You know what I'm saying? Even though you
Uh-huh.
try to flip it on, I know it wasn't my fault, and I know that you you started this, okay? Because like I said, the first time I saw semen, I thought it was infection. I called it
Right.
infection. Because, you know, so yeah, so yeah, yeah.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, I understand how this works, now that I'm in ministry, you can be born with that target on your back. So,
Mhm.
I know we've been on here for a while, but tell me the story about how you believe you were conceived and brought into this world, and
So
why that probably had something to do with your sexuality.
So my brother, my oldest brother, the 13-year-old one is 13 years older than me. In 2019, he fell ill, and I brought him here. Long story short, I brought him to Detroit, and while he was here, he explained to me, a few different times, like, I knew mom and daddy before you guys knew mom and daddy, and they wouldn't always save, and they used to do this, they used to fuss and fight, cuss, and all this kind of stuff. And um, I always knew that my mom was not supposed to have any more children after him. She even told us that, um, because she had a heart attack after having him. Shortly after having him, she had a heart attack. So her heart wasn't supposed to be strong enough to give birth to children. And if she did get pregnant, either she would lose the baby or lose her life, if not both. Right. So my grandmother, which is not my biological grandmother, she's actually my biological auntie, okay, through marriage, that raised my mom. Um, she was what they call a naturalist, um, which now I know that's nothing more than a hoodoo specialist. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, even though I do believe in using all natural herbs and stuff for the body, the healing of the body, stuff like that. So he was telling me that my grandmother um, gave my mother instructions as what to do to get pregnant. Um, and one of the things that she was supposed to do was go to the water um, at Cape Fear River. I don't know what she was supposed to do at the water, but she was supposed to go to the water, and she was supposed to be with her husband, and she would become pregnant. So I don't know how many times
Mm.
she did this ritual, or I don't know how many times she done this before she got pregnant, but eventually she got pregnant, and here I come. Um, my
Oh,
my
okay.
my brother, the one that's 13 years older than me, he said the first time he held me in the hospital with my mom, he said he told my mom this is a homosexual,
What?
and said she was livid.
No. So
Yeah,
that he was prophetic.
yeah,
Like he was a
yeah,
seer. He was a
yeah,
seer. And
yeah,
you have that seer gift too, though.
yeah. So um that happened in 2019. And of course I denied it. Like, you're crazy, you lost your mind. I don't think she would have done nothing like that. Da 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 da. So he told me more than once before he passed. Fast forward to 2022, July of 2022, August of 2022. I was in North Carolina, and I met this soldier from Fort Bragg, and he says to me, "B, you are a effing demon." Right. Um, didn't you tell me you was from North Carolina originally? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, 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 yeah. Somebody did something to get you here that they shouldn't have done. And that's when I like put what my brother said and what he was saying. Like it just made too much sense because my thing was this guy, first of all, he's a soldier. He wasn't even from Fayetteville. He lived in Fayetteville because of his job, the military. So that knocks out any chance of him knowing me personally or knowing my family. Um, so he had only being totally honest, he had only known me maybe 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so for him to just come out of the blue and say something like that, it really it weighed volume with me.
Start your deliverance journey today with the Breaking Curses 101 School of Deliverance. You can get delivered in the privacy of your own home. We've served over 6,000 people since 2016. So check out my link in the description below to take my free course to get started.